Everyone, and welcome to today's video. Thank you for watching. My name is Patricia if you're new here. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and also to follow me on Instagram. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this really pretty look. I got so many requests to do this look in my dad's 55th birthday party vlog, which I'll link up here if you haven't watched it. And I was so surprised, but I'm really happy because I've been planning on doing more sit-down videos like these anyway. I haven't been doing as many beauty videos as I have in the past, and I'm sorry for that, but you know, I'm really excited to get back into it. Makeup is what I love. It's my passion. So yeah, I'm excited to show you guys how I got this look. It's actually really easy, but I'm going to walk you through everything, and everything that I will be using will be listed down below in the description box. So let's get started. So first we're going to start out with our moisturizer. I like to have my face nice and hydrated and moisturized, of course. I drink my water. But we still got to add some moisture because we want everything to look nice, and we want the skin to look nice and plump and hydrated and youthful. So for my moisturizer, I'm using my holy grail favorite Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. You guys have heard me talk about it for like the longest time. I love this stuff. I really feel like it is just worth every single penny. If you're not 100% sold on it, get the travel size. It's like $30 and see for yourself. That's what I did, and I love it. This works great on every skin type. I really feel like if you're dry, this makes your skin so nice. If you're like dry and flaky, I have clients who have a little bit of dry and flaky skin, and I'll put some of this on and it like disappears. If you're oily, I don't feel like this makes your skin so oily that it's unbearable. I just think it works good on everybody, but mostly I would recommend this for people with normal to dry skin. So now that my skin is nice and moisturized, we're going to go ahead and move on to the eyebrows. You guys know let's do eyebrows first. Eyebrows really do frame the face. It took me a while to really understand that concept, but I do feel like you lay your eyeshadows a lot better, and everything kind of just falls more into place after you do your eyebrows. So we're going to start with eyebrows. I really just like to fill in any sparse areas. I don't like to do too much with my brows. You guys know I don't like the stamped brow. That look is kind of outdated, but I'm just going to fill in a little lightly. Remember, your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So if they're not identical, do not be discouraged. It's okay. And I always like to take a brow pencil or a brow product that's honestly a little bit lighter than my natural brow color, because that'll avoid you going overboard and it looking like way too dramatic, way more dramatic than it needs to be. So now I'm going to go ahead and conceal with my Holy Grail e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer and my MAC. I believe this is the 212, but you can find this kind of brush anywhere. Anything that's flat and skinny like this is what you're going to want. You guys see that? And always just start carving out right underneath where your natural brow hairs are. And then just drag that product down to your eyelid. And then I'm going to take a little bit more concealer and just sharpen on the top of the brow. So now what I'll do is, sometimes I get the concealer on my actual brow hairs, and that's not what we want. So I'll get my spoolie and just kind of like comb out the top to give that more natural look. So then I'm going to just go ahead and add my concealer on, blend that out. You can do this with your finger, with your brush, whatever is more comfortable with you. So next up, we're going to go ahead and grab our eyeshadow palette. For this look, you don't need a specific eyeshadow palette. You just need some staple shades. You need a good like bronzy shade. Ooh. You need a good bronzy shade like this orange one right here for your transition. You need a good brown. I'm going to use I'm gonna kind of go in between this one and this one, but any kind of like chocolatey brown color will work. And then you're gonna need a black eyeshadow, and of course a staple gold. You can use a highlighter, you can use a gold shimmer, whichever gold you want is what you can use for this look. So it doesn't require anything fancy. It's probably something you already have at home if you're into makeup in general. So yeah. So first we're gonna go ahead and get a fluffy brush. You guys know a fluffy brush is always a staple in my makeup routines because you can just do so much with a brush like this. And again, it's one of those brushes that you can get anywhere. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing like, do you guys remember those brushes that makeup companies used to sell like in like 5 years ago that were the ergonomic design? I forgot. I'm gonna link a picture up to kind of show you guys, but like those kinds of brushes were like considered like so unique, but like you can do so much with a brush that's so common like this. You know, you don't need anything fancy. So anyway, back to my tutorial. So we're gonna take this shade right here, and this is called Addy, and this is the Illuminati X Isabel Bedoya palette that I got in my Ipsy box a few months ago. So I'll try to find it. I'm pretty sure it's still available, but if it's not, you know, you probably already have something similar. I will make sure to link everything down below in the description box in case you're interested in purchasing. So one thing that I've kind of been learning lately, I've been watching other celebrity makeup artists to kind of just get more inspired into makeup and doing makeup with my clients and kind of switching up my techniques, because as a makeup artist you can never stop learning. So one of the techniques that I learned is to hold your brush as far away as possible like this instead of like this when you're blending eyeshadow. So when you hold it far away like this, it allows for you to have a more seamless finish, and it doesn't require for you to blend as much because you're applying less product. So you don't have to keep blending. Like your eyeshadow isn't going to come out choppy. It's going to come out really like nice, quicker. Does that make sense? So yeah, hold the brush farther away for a more seamless finish. And I'm just going to warm up the entire crease with that. So you guys know I love using a transition shade because it really helps everything else blend together a lot more easily. It helps if you're doing a smoky eye, which we kind of are. It helps for all the darker shades to kind of like mesh together nicely, because you know that when you do a smoky eye, you need to blend very, very nicely to make sure that you don't look crazy. So yeah. Okay, so now that we got our eyes nice and warmed up, we're gonna go ahead and go in with a deeper shade, which is Baby Girl. This is kind of like a more mauve-y, oh, can you see? It's like a more mauve-y tone shade. And we're gonna apply that to the outer corners. As so. Another tip that I do want to give you is if you're doing your lashes or you're doing your eyeshadow, I always suggest holding a mirror down like this instead of directly like this. I just feel like when you hold it down at that angle, you're able to see what you're doing a lot easily, a lot more easily. So it just makes the application process a lot easier. You can see where you're placing everything better. So just a quick tip if you're someone who struggles with eyeshadow. We're just adding a little bit of depth per se into the outer corners of the crease. And something I like doing more now too, that I've kind of changed in my makeup routine, is like before I would kind of follow my crease all the way down like this. So I would go like blend like this. Now I'm kind of lifting my shadow up to kind of elevate my eye, to kind of lift the face a little bit more, if that makes any sense. So instead of following the crease exactly downwards, I'm kind of just like blending outwards and upwards to give myself a more lifted eye look without getting the surgery. So that's about as much as I want to do there. And then with the same brush, that's what I'm telling y'all, you don't need that many brushes. With the same brush, I'm going to go in with this shade called Trust, which is like a more of a brown shade, but again, anything that's like a chocolate brown will work. And remember to always dust off your excess powder. Then I'm gonna just apply that like right in this area. You don't want to go up in the crease up here. You kind of just want to leave it down here, and I'm going to show you why in a second. You can see it's already adding a little bit of a smoky effect. So as you can see, you're already kind of smoking at the eye without it looking super dramatic. Like a smoky eye doesn't have to be raccoon looking. It doesn't have to be completely all blacked out. You know, you can do different variations of a smoky eye and it still look very, very natural. If that, like, not natural, but you know, not extremely dramatic, because that's not what everyone goes for. Like I'm a prime example. I don't like very heavy dramatic makeup. I like the makeup to look natural but noticeable and enhanced. Now when I was in high school, that's a different story. I liked the more dramatic the better. I mean, you couldn't tell me to do a natural look. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our shimmer shade. So I'm actually gonna add 2 shimmers, but this is totally optional, but I'm going to add this shade right here called Rich with my finger. So when you do it with your finger, you get better color payoff and less fallout, in my opinion. And I'm just gonna go about halfway, not go out entirely, just halfway, because we still want to add some smoky here. So then we're going to apply it to the next eye. So I'm also going to apply a teeny bit of highlighter from my cosmetic line. I'm going to add the shade Elbiana. And the reason I'm doing this is because this shadow is kind of glittery, and then this is going to give more of like a wet look, and kind of like, I feel like it kind of like ties the shadow together. I don't know, but I did this the day that I did this first makeup look, and I liked it a lot better than with just the gold from the palette on its own. Because one thing I don't like is when the eyeshadow looks very like chunky and glittery. I like for it to look like smooth. So essentially what I'm doing now is smoothing out the eyeshadow, smoothing out the gold. So now we're going to go back in with the brush from before, the fluffy one, and we're going to just blend out, pushing the smokier shades inwards towards the gold to make sure that everything is nice and blended. And I'm really sorry if anyone gets offended by the finger that I use to apply my eyeshadow. I don't know why I use this finger. I always have, and it's just like, I have it, but I'm not trying to send any kind of subliminal messages here. Just gotta put that out there because, you know, yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the kind of fun and tricky part. So I'm gonna be adding my eyeliner. However, something that I've been doing lately is a little bit different than what I've been doing for a while. So before I used to add gel liner, liquid liner. Now I just add eyeshadow as my liner. And the reason I do this is because I got kind of used to doing this on clients, because most of my clients, oh my God, I'm not wearing my earrings. Oh my God, hold on. Hold on. Gotta put my earrings on. Okay, so back to what I was saying. The reason that I got used to just doing the liner with shadow instead of with an actual eyeliner is because most of my clients were always wearing lash extensions. So I just felt like it was easier to just use an eyeshadow, because you guys know if you wear lash extensions, wearing like a gel liner will ruin your extensions, or it's not recommended. And then I'm not a huge fan of liquid liners. I kind of like them, kind of don't. I just feel like if you mess up, it messes everything up. So that's why I kind of try to stay away from them. But with eyeshadow, you can get the same look, and it just looks very pretty. So I don't know. I just like it more, and then you can do more with it. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So with this shade called Soul, which is an all black shade in the palette, I'm going to grab this brush. Honestly, I can't even tell you where I got this brush from. I don't remember, but it's basically just an angled flat brush. I'm going to pack that shade on, but always remember to dust. The less fallout, the better, because we're probably going to have to clean up when I'm doing this. So I'm just going to go ahead and start lining, and I'm packing that shade on. I'm not really swiping. I'm more dabbing and packing it on. Again, holding your mirror down like this is going to make this so much easier for you. Okay, so we got our line. Now we're going to create our wing. Remember when we're creating our wing, we're always going to go upwards as if we're going towards the end of our eyebrow. So up like this. And then we're going to drag that wing inwards. And that's why I say that doing your eyebrows first is a lot more helpful, because you are seeing where to place certain things. So remember, like I said, this is our guideline, is the end of our eyebrow. If our eyebrows weren't on, we wouldn't know where to put the wing, like where to place it. So that is what I'm going to do with the wing. And then I'm going to get my concealer brush from before, and I'm just going to sharpen it. remember, never beat yourself up if your wing doesn't come out perfectly, because if you sharpen it, then it's, you know, you can really change and manipulate the wing to look the way it's supposed to. So I'm just going to quickly do this next one off camera, and then we are going to move on with the rest of the look. Okay, so now that we're done with the eyes, we're going to go ahead and add our lashes. I'm trying to do better with adding lashes right after doing eyeshadow, especially for tutorials, because I always end up finishing the eyeshadow and then doing the face and then adding the lashes at the very end. I don't know why. It's just another bad habit of mine. But we're not going to do it today. Today we're going to do things right. So I'm going to take my lashes. These are from Amazon. I'm going to link them down below. These are my go-to lashes. They're so pretty. And I'm going to take this adhesive from INV by Kiss. And I'm just going to apply my lashes really quickly. I'm just gonna look down at the mirror, apply my lashes as so. And always remember to keep kind of like pressing in the inner and outer corners, because that's where the lashes can tend to like move and not stick. What a difference, right? I'm telling you, lashes make the biggest difference. I'm gonna take my concealer from before, the e.l.f., and I'm only going to apply it right here in this area. And then up here, right underneath the wing. And I like to let it sit for like a couple seconds, maybe like 30 seconds. So doing this, I feel like the concealer doesn't crease as much and it lasts longer throughout the day. So I really like to just like leave it alone. Like for example, yesterday I had a day full of clients. It was probably like a 8-9 hour day, and literally when I was on my way home, I was like looking at myself in the rearview mirror, and I was like, oh my gosh, my concealer is still like intact. So doing this method of leaving your concealer on a little bit longer does help. However, if you have very dry under eyes and you're not using a concealer that's hydrating, I wouldn't recommend this step. Or if you have a lot of texture, like a lot of wrinkles and stuff like that, this wouldn't be something that I would recommend. So I'm gonna lift that concealer up. See how it's kind of even helping make the wing a little bit sharper as well. And I'm just going to kind of like drag it down a little bit and blend it out. And then blend. Always make sure to blend in here too, because sometimes we can create a shadow and we want to kind of conceal that as well. I really love how concealer just really ties everything together so nicely. I feel like a lot of times you can use concealer more than you'll need foundation. Like lately I haven't even been wearing foundation. I'll just wear concealer and just dab a little bit of powder and my blush and stuff, and I feel like it just looks so good still without needing foundation. So now that we got that, we're going to let that sit. I like to apply a setting spray right after, so I'm going to use mine for my cosmetic line. I'm actually sold out of this right now, but it will be in stock very soon. So love that. Love that. And normally I like to cream contour, but today I'm going to use a powder contour palette that my friend actually released from her own cosmetic line. I'm going to see if she has a link to it below, but if not, I'll find a way for y'all to purchase it. It's so good. I've been using it a lot of my clients, and it's so nice. And it has a blush also included. So I am going to get my foundation. I'm using the Becca Skin Love foundation. Becca actually, I heard, is going out of business, which makes me so sad. I get so sad whenever any business goes out of business, because being a business owner myself, I know how sad that must be, and how like it makes me sad. So anyway, this foundation is one of my favorites. A YouTuber that is subscribed to me sent this to me. She's awesome. Mirna, if you're watching this, love you, girl. She sent me all the shades a long time ago, and I've gone through so many of them because they're so good. I use them on all my clients. This foundation really is weightless. All my clients always say like, oh my gosh, this coverage is amazing and it doesn't feel heavy. Like, it's such a good foundation. I love this foundation. And I'm so sad that Becca is going out of business, because now I won't have this foundation. I'm so sad because I feel like I have yet to find a foundation that was so perfect like this one, and now, you know, it's gonna be gone forever. So I'm like using the last bits of this. So I'm gonna be on the hunt for a new foundation very soon. So please comment your favorite foundations down below for normal to combo skin, because I would very much so appreciate that. See how natural it looks? And it's not super matte. It still gives you some luminosity. Is that a word? Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and set the under eyes. So before I set the under eyes, I always make sure that there's no creases, because if there are some creases from the concealer moving a little bit, then when you powder down your under eye, it's gonna only emphasize the creases. So I like to kind of just pat upwards and touch up. And then I'm gonna add in my Maybelline Fit Me setting powder with a beauty blender. And I'm going to press that upwards into the skin. So I'm going to simply see how I'm pressing up, because you want to push that product up, because our eye is naturally going to sag. So we're going to try to push that upwards to avoid any creasing. And we're going to press and not swipe, because when you swipe, you remove product. When you press, you add it on. And I'm going to focus on this outer corner right here. So now we're going to go ahead and finish up the eye area. I like to finish the eyes after I apply powder, because if I do have fallout, it's easier to remove. So I'm going to go back with that angled brush that we used to do our liner, and I'm going to go in with that same black shade, but I'm actually going to mix it with a little bit of this brown. So I mix this one with this one, dab off, and I'm going to go ahead and start lining my lower lash line and kind of smoking that area out. Just like that. Now, I really don't like to add black liner in my waterline anymore. The older that I get, I just don't like my eyes to look small, and I don't like the way it makes my eyes look. So I'm just going to add some mascara. I'm going to add this sample that I actually got from my Ipsy box, and this is from It Cosmetics. I ran out of my Maybelline one, so I had this one just lying around. Okay, so now that I got my mascara on, I'm going to go ahead and add some more setting powder. Remember, this setting powder is going to refresh the makeup. So since we've added powder and we've added more products, we want the makeup to kind of get more toned down and get that skin look. We want that skin finish. I should have named it the Skin Finish Setting Spray, but I named it the Skin Glow Setting Spray because it still adds a little bit of luminosity too. So whatever. Not me freaking talking about rebranding ideas on camera. So now I'm going to go in with the contour palette that I mentioned to you all that my cousin launched. Any kind of brush with a little bit of an angle is the brush that I love to use for contouring, and I'm going to go in with this middle shade right here. As you guys can see, she has a highlighter shade and two blush shades. I'm going to be using this one right here in the middle. And then for the blush, I'm going to use this middle peachy shade. It's really, really pretty, and I think it'll look great on my skin tone. So remember that when you're contouring, a good guideline is to start upwards right up here towards the top of your ear and go mid-cheek. And always blend upwards because you want to lift your face, not drag it down. And then I like to contour the forehead a little bit. And then I'll contour the nose. So I like to just squeeze the brush like this. I'm going to squeeze the brush like this. And I'm going to just go on the sides of my nose. So then I'm going to take my beauty blender from before with the powder on it, and I'm just going to go and kind of clean up the edges so that my nose doesn't look so bronzed. So now that my nose is contoured, I'm going to add some blush. I'm going to add the peachy blush that I just mentioned to you guys, this one right here in the middle. And a new technique that I've been also learning from other celebrity makeup artists is to add the blush like really almost underneath your eye, because again, it lifts the face. And so instead of adding it right here solely on the apples, I'm going to add it right here. Like that. I love how that looks. instead of doing it like this. And I love to pack on the blush because I'm going to add highlight after, so it's going to tone it down a lot. So don't, trust me, I'm not going to look like this. Like, just give me a second. So now I'm going to add my highlighter. I'm going to add my Albiana highlighter from Patryyciah Cosmetics. If you are watching this video, feel free to use the code YT20 for 20% off site-wide. We have a lot of new products in stock, so yeah. So then I'm going to go in with my foundation brush from before and not adding any new product, just using the brush. I'm just going to kind of dab it in the blush area to kind of press everything together, the highlight, contour, and the blush. You guys see how that toned it down a bit? I told you guys I was not about to look crazy. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and finish our lip. So now I'm going to add my Opal lip liner from Patryyciah Cosmetics. It's a beautiful nude lip liner. And I'm going to just line my lips. I love to overline a little bit. And then I'm going to add a gloss. I'm going to add my Mercury lip gloss from Patryyciah Cosmetics. This is also new. And then, last but not least, I'm going to add some glow. So I'm adding my Retrograde Skin Glow from my line, which will also be linked down below. I already made sure that my décolletage area is moisturized. I always suggest that you moisturize prior to applying this product. And I'm just going to apply that all over. So just added that beautiful glow to my chest. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I will link everything down below like I mentioned before. So thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.